Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to Stuff I Never Learned from a Schoolbook. It is 7 p.m. Central, 6 Mountain, 5 Pacific, 8 Eastern. Everyone should know those time frames because I always tell them to you what time I start. Anyways, if you don't know me, my name's Tom Springer. I'm the host of this show. For those of you who do know me, hello, welcome back. All that wonderful good stuff. If you've been keeping an eye on my advertisements, commercials, everything else, you know that I do have on some people tonight. I will be bringing on Kat and Will. But first, let me get some of the stuff out of the way. If you want to know how to see us or share anything out with other people, there's our BB3 TV links. These are my parent company. These are the ones that actually allow me to do the show and everything else. So follow them on Facebook or over here on YouTube. You can see all that there. We also have my stuff right here, which runs in the bottom. It's just facebook.com, stuff I never learned from a school book. And she's kind of hidden under here. Let me see if I can get this really quick. But this Paranormal Brew site right here, the one right here underneath me, the black and white one is Paranormal Brew. She lets me advertise. Her name is Taryn Kerper. This is her site. Go out and check out her site too. Paranormal Brew. Her name is Taryn Kerper. She's the owner. She has on a lot of great stuff. So all that's out of the way really quick. I'll bring it up at the end of the show as well. But right now, let me go ahead and bring in Will and Kat Armstrong, and they are part of the owners or the founders, I think, of Paranormal Expos or Paranormal Exposures. So, hi.
Hello.
How are you?
We are doing good.
Good. So far, we've had a little adventure this morning or this afternoon already. For those who don't get to see all the funny stuff that happens in the upbringing, we've been on here for about half an hour trying to get everything hooked up. And we finally got it to where we can see them both and hear them. So this is, so for those people, Patricia saying hello.
Hi.
Patricia is actually the owner of BB3 TV's mom. So I just basically call her mom. She's a surrogate mom to a lot of people. Before I go through all the rest of these, Kat and Will, we actually have another guest that is part of your team that's waiting in the background. So if I'm going to bring her up, and I want you guys to introduce her, okay?
Absolutely. We have brought along our favorite Miss Heidi. She decided to go ahead and join us tonight. She's been a part of the team for about a year, and she provides entertainment, amazing photography, really good ESTA sessions, and a lot of enjoyment to investigating. So
just an all-round majestic investigator.
majestic.
Majestic. Oh, that's a good word. Oh my goodness, William. Thank you.
And I do happen to know, because this is the kind of knowledge I gain in about 3 minutes before we go on the show, that she also sings happy birthday to people in her on her team when they're at Edinburgh. So, yep, that's right. I will make you blush. I will make you shy. I will make you do everything else on the show because I can. Anyway. Well, we have a couple more really quick coming in. Hi, Lori.
Hi, Lori.
How are you?
Hi.
And then my wife is actually saying hello right now. So it's funny people don't know this. My wife actually sits out in the living room. She's kind of my command control center because she lets me know if my internet's going wonky or anything else, and whatever else. Oh, and I have been told this because although I do know that Kat has already got a potty mouth, but apparently Heidi's the worst one. So over in that corner up above them, there's the parental advisory, and I'm throwing it up really quick so people know that this is going to happen.
Right here.
I'm pretty sure it's going to come from Heidi more than anybody else. You can just tell it in her face. She just seems to be that sweet, innocent looking person, but we all know the truth. So no one saw that. Well, don't worry about it. Except for like all the world. Oh, and I'm saying hi to Heidi. So anyways, all three of you, I don't care who talks, all three of you are part of Paranormal Exposures. Where are you out of? When did you start? All that good stuff.
I'll start us out. So Paranormal Exposures was founded in October of 2021. We decided to branch out and start our own team from the team that we were previously a part of. Most of the team's been investigating with us for right around a little over a year. William and I have been investigating quite a bit longer than that, but that doesn't matter a whole lot. Yeah.
A
We're
little
from
bit,
Cedar,
a
Cedar
little
Rapids,
bit
Iowa.
longer. A little bit longer.
A little bit longer.
If you read my write-up, you'll see what she says. So
A little bit longer. But yeah, we're out of Cedar Rapids, Iowa. We like to hang out a lot at Edinburgh Manor, which you all are well aware if you follow us at all. That's like home base for us. We do a lot of daytime investigation and training there because it's really a perfect spot for learning how to do it. So
right. Yeah, and for those people that don't know, oh my goodness, it's like a segue. For those people that don't know, two people in my paranormal family are actually in Cedar Rapids and one of them just popped in to say hi to the family. This is Bobby Thomas. He's part of my team, Dimensional Encounters Paranormal, and they have actually teamed up together since they live out there to go do some investigating. Good timing, Bobby. It's almost like you planned it.
why is Bobby a potato? That's the real question.
I was just wondering that.
And the thing, if you look at him, he's not a really thoughtful potato. He kind of has that. He kind of has that caveman look on his face. So maybe he's trying to figure out how he turned into a potato. So Heidi, how long have you been with these two problem children?
Oh goodness. Well, I've known Kat for 4 years now. We were cube mates when we were working together, and last year she was talking about, hey, I'm going to go do an investigation, and I'm like, can I come? And it was an incredible time. I got introduced to all of this weird, crazy. You don't need to scream, kitty. It's okay. My cat always screams whenever I video chat. I don't know why. I was introduced to this weird, crazy world, and it's a little bit addicting. So I guess Cat can't shake me now. I'm too far in.
So your first time out, did you actually encounter anything?
Oh, let's see. It was at Edinburgh Manor, and I was running a spirit box session in a very active room. And, I did my whole spiel like, hi, my name's Heidi. I'm just here to speak with you for a little bit. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself, et cetera, et cetera. And then all across on spirit box kept popping up, hi, Heidi, and Heidi, hi, and hello. And I just about peed myself, considering I had zero exposure to the paranormal before then. And then Kat decided to leave me alone in that room and walked away and came back 45 minutes later. And it was awesome.
Yeah.
It felt good because even at that early stage, Kat trusted me enough to be like, yeah, you got this, Heidi. You'll be fine. And that was great.
So Heidi left out the part that's my favorite part of that story, and that was when Heidi asked the very popular question of what's your favorite color? And the spirit box erupted with like 12 answers of all different colors. And Heidi kind of looked at it and like, did that just happen? Because they had pink, green, blue, yellow, everything was all spouted out like all at once on top of each other in all different voices. And she kind of didn't like that. I actually tell that to some of the people when I'm doing tours. They're like, well, what kind of stuff do you get here? Well, Heidi, this one time, she had like 12 answers to one question. It was pretty wild.
Heidi broke it. So
I did.
So Heidi, I'm going to give you some very, very good insight that maybe Kat hasn't shared with you before. You just made the statement that she invited you on and she said, you got this, and she kind of let you go. Actually, what she was doing was using you as bait, and she was throwing you to the wolves first. So that way, if anything else came up, they could just run the other direction. Oh,
no, because she was on the second floor, not in the basement.
Oh,
yeah,
not in the basement. Okay. I'm sorry. That would have been my team. My team's the one who throws people to the. In fact, we got our big crier. So he's the one we normally throw out to the wolves first. So
Scooby-Doo?
Scooby-Doo, yep. So,
oh goodness.
I'm going to get into a lot of other stuff too, but I actually kind of want to know. I do know that. Okay, for the three of you, sorry, I had to think about it in my head, and I had a voice come in and start talking to me, and I kind of had to push him off because this isn't the time for people to start talking to me. When you go on investigations, I know you all use equipment, and I'm going to bring you guys out on this. who has abilities that can sense it on their own and doesn't need the equipment?
No comment?
I say no me. I don't have anything like that. So
We actually have several. Many of them don't admit to it. I'm one of those. It just is what it is. My favorite experience, actually, if Patty's listening, I don't know if she is or not. Patty has this connection. We don't know if it's a guide or if it's somebody that's actually a spirit that's following us, but we actually have repeated instances at multiple locations of a Stephen.
Oh, okay.
And Stephen comes through upon request, even if Patty's watching me on live. We've had Stephen answer, and Patty wasn't even like still on the chat. I couldn't see her comments, and she asked for Stephen. And Stephen came through, and she heard it later. She's like, "That's wild," because I asked him to come through, and there he was when I went back and watched it. So
Nice.
Yeah, we have several. My daughter Aubrey is also very intuitive. Heidi is very intuitive. Kyle is in denial. That rhymes really well.
He is in denial. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're really well rounded. Savannah is working on a lot of things. She's only 17. We have two young ladies on our team that are 17, and we don't really push them on the intuitive stuff.
Right.
So much. It's more or less just getting them involved in the ways that they feel comfortable, and whatever happens. We try to be very open and allow for whatever to come through. And if they have it, great. If they don't have an experience, that's totally okay too. So
and they just get to learn on the fly.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, and I'll let you know, I read everything out that when I bring up messages most of the time. This one says, "Kat, we validated your feels in the stairwell." That's from Bobby Thomas. And just so the audience knows and you guys on screen know, the reason I read them out is because I actually have some people who they'll have the show on, but they'll just put headphones on and they'll work, or they're cleaning house or whatever else. So I like to read out the questions or statements so that way the people
Shame on you.
know too, right? I know some people's kids, but at least normally they're on time. I'm just saying.
I think I was on time. I just had no volume.
You had to be on time this time. You were here, but in the past when you pop in, you're like, "Hi, sorry I'm late." I always show that one. There's Kat. So, Will, I have to ask because I know that Kat.
North Ireland.
Well, I know that Kat and Heidi can't get a word in with you around. I'm hearing that already. What made you get involved? What made you start doing investigation?
I need to go back in the midst of time here a little bit. So it's 1992 back in Scotland, and it's Halloween night, and we get done with what you guys would call trick or treating, but in Scotland it's called guising. That's
right.
What we call trick or treating. And this show, and it was a one-half show, and it was kind of like a mockumentary, so to speak, but it aired on Halloween night and Saturday. It was called Ghost Watch. And it was this sort of take on this lady's house. It's haunted, by some malevolent spirit. And this team is assembled.
Yeah.
Like, it's live, it's like it's actually happening, And everybody's at home watching it. And this team goes in to stay with the woman overnight, and investigate. And it's wild. Even though it's a mockumentary, people were phoning in after the show had aired, complaining and things like that it scared them, and it was just bonkers,
Right.
But there's something that I took for that as a kid watching it that I still keep with me today, and that was as a kid, to me, like when I thought of haunted places, I'm thinking some castle, on a hill crumbling,
right.
Or I'm thinking of some secluded mansion in the woods, the eccentric guy who used to live there who now passed away, who roams the halls.
Right.
To me, this show, even though it was a mockumentary, showed me that true hauntings, real hauntings, can be right next door to you.
Right.
It can be anywhere, and you don't even know. And it's something I've just kept here with me this whole time.
Very cool. Yeah, a mockumentary is what brought you into it, of all things. Yeah.
I guess it was kind of precursor for the paranormal shows that we have.
Right.
It was only one episode. It was nothing more than that, but it kind of was that precursor, that
Yeah.
start.
Yeah.
And I may or may not have sent him a whole bunch of links on YouTube of all the Ghost Adventures episodes back in the early 2010s.
2000s, yeah. Yeah, you got to
but yeah,
figure.
I
I don't think
sent
Zach
him, like,
Bagel was
the-
born in 1980 something. So
Yeah, the 1800s. But yeah, we would. I would send him the links because they couldn't get them in Scotland at that point. So I
Right.
would send him like the bootleg YouTube links of like pieces of episodes.
right.
And we would laugh and joke about him and watch them together because we dated online while he was still in Scotland. We dated online for 4 years. And so that was like part of our communications was we would sit and watch these shows and talk about them. And
Yeah, but me, for the first time seeing all these locations in America, like Edinburgh Manor, Waverly Hills, all these places, like, this is like a bigger world,
Yeah.
Tom Holly's digging your sweatshirt, by the way.
No thanks.
Yeah. I was gonna say that. Tom Nelly likes appreciation for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles sweatshirt. So, sorry. Yep.
Yeah.
Represent.
He's digging it.
But yeah, then when I went through Scotland in 2012, we booked a trip to Edinburgh Vaults that we went and did that together.
Very cool.
And kind of hung out at Loch Lomond for a while and went to see castles and things like that when I went through. And then when we went back to Scotland in 2017, we went to Drover's Inn, which is a pretty haunted inn that's in the middle of nowhere. Definitely book yourself a taxi. Don't walk the road. It's not safe.
I believe it's one of the oldest inns in Scotland. I believe it dates back to somewhere, I don't know if it's the late 1700s.
Oh yeah.
Very old.
Yeah. Yeah. So Taryn's popping in to say hi to everybody.
Hey,
So-
Taryn.
If you didn't hear me beforehand, Taryn Kerper, in fact, right underneath the thing right here where it says PB, that's Paranormal Brew. She's the owner of that. She's the one who lets me advertise on her site. So I love her. And not just for that, but I just love her because she's a great person.
But we all love her. And that's
Right? And she even says it. Yep. She says, love you guys right there. In fact, look, she even says she's sharing it for us. And for those who don't know, my wife and Taryn have it's not a secret crush at all. It's out. I think Taryn only puts up with me now because she met my wife. So that works. But we're trying to get that worked out. So, all right, Kat, now it's your turn. I got Will's background. Heidi told me how she stepped into it with you, so to speak. Now it's your turn to let us know how you started out.
Oh my gosh. So I have had issues with seeing things my entire life. I've had a lot of experiences of seeing people that aren't there to everyone else as a child and having conversations with things that weren't there to everyone else. And gosh, I don't know how much of this I really want to share. I see weird things, non-human, odd
Me too.
creature things.
Yeah.
And I've seen them for most of my life. It escalated in high school shortly after I actually had a experience with being hospitalized after heat stroke that was pretty severe. I was there for many days. And then I went back 2 weeks later for the same thing because I like being in the hospital apparently.
Apparently. Good. It's the Jello. Everyone loves the Jello.
Yeah, definitely that. I actually, when I went into for heat stroke the first time, it was an experience where I had like ESP with my mother. My heat stroke was summer of '93.
Okay.
And I was sandbagging in Ottumwa, Iowa to save my parents' store from the floods of '93 because they had a store downtown. And I was like 2 weeks into sandbagging where I was a volunteer and going wherever the city took us in big trucks to random locations. And I was dehydrated, and we were on the side of the river and throwing bags, and the guy threw quicker than I could catch, and it knocked the wind out of me. And here I'm just a 16-year-old kid.
Right.
I'm trying to remember if I was even quite 16. I think it was before my birthday. It knocked the wind out of me. I couldn't catch my breath. I went and sat down in the shade of a truck tire, and it was about like this much shade. And somebody came up to me, and they're like, are you okay? Can I get you some water? And I thought I responded with, no, I'm fine. I'm just going to sit here a minute. And apparently I mumbled out gibberish of nonsense that made no sense because I was that far gone already.
Oh, okay.
So they called an ambulance and the police officer came up and said, I need to call your parents. How do I call to reach them?
Right.
And clear speaking, I said, my mom's already on the way.
Yeah.
Which is random for someone that verbally is like nonverbal because of being so far gone.
Yep.
My mom didn't even drop me off at the location we were at. She dropped me off at a different spot and they drove us to where we were working.
Right.
She was watching movies at home with my dad and she actually sat up from a dead sleep, having fallen asleep watching the movie, and said, I have to go get her right now. And she drove down to where we were and followed the ambulance to the hospital.
Wow.
And I'm like, I don't know how to explain that, but it kind of was, an interesting experience, but it kind of validates like maybe I'm not as crazy as I think I am. There are other abilities out there.
Well, you might be that crazy, just not for that reason.
It is what it is.
Just saying.
I used to go hang out at Mars Hill when I was in high school, and there was a haunted bridge that wasn't far away, and I liked abandoned places and all of that. But I started it in high school. Really.
Yeah.
And then when I found somebody that wanted to do it with me, it kind of became more exciting. So.
Yeah. It's always a little more interesting when you have a group with you, or at least a couple of people with you. It seems to. So I have people tell me this. They said it's not as frightening. Sometimes you're alone, you can kind of get in your own head and it kind of plays tricks on you. But when you're with others, at least you can bounce stuff off and validate and everything else.
Everybody's had that one moment where something plays in their mind, especially if you're in a location by yourself. I've had it before at Edinburgh Manor. I do it to myself. Sometimes I'll be in the basement, I'll be all right, and then other times I'll walk in there. I'll just hear the dull, faintest noise, even if it's just a building tapping. And I'll be like, Satan, is that you?
Right.
But it's I think everybody has that experience once, and it's
So
it's easy to put yourself.
Yeah, it's funny because I'm that person who is too dumb to know any better. I mean, we kind of know that I don't have any fear of anything because I'm too dumb to know any better. So I just walk into stuff. I don't care. If I'm supposed to die, I'm supposed to die. I'm just gonna go walk into it anyways.
Wow, it escalated quickly with death. I haven't had any threats of death on location yet. So
I don't know if I have or not. I know I had stuff call me names and yell at me and threaten me, but I don't know if they actually threatened death. So we have a question from Mr. DeCesare. Hi, Chris. Thanks for watching, brother. So Lorraine Warren passed away 3 years ago today. She was a big help to me as a teenager and helped to inspire my acceptance of the paranormal. Do any of you look up to anyone in the field?
I think I look up to everyone in the field, honestly. It's not even like the people that everybody knows by name. I love following even all of the little teams. I think everybody has something that you can learn from. And, it's not like the TV shows, but I still enjoy the TV shows. Very familiar with the Warrens. Haven't had any connection with any of those people personally. Authors, we read a lot of books. Richard Estep is actually one of our friends. I really adore him. I think he's a great author. We've gotten to do an investigation with him once at Malvern. We're going back in June for their finale of their Malvern experiment.
Yeah.
We might get to see you if you are nearby enough.
Actually, I'll type in that all the people.
Yes, we love Bobby Thomas. He's one of my idols.
I think Bobby is an idol to everybody at some point.
It's because he looks like a potato.
It's the potato that really does it.
Like Taryn tells me that
we love following everybody and watching everybody and seeing them, enjoying what they enjoy doing.
Right.
I think my favorite person I look up to in the paranormal field because it gives us that kind of like how you guys are doing this right is Kendra.
Oh yeah,
Kendra Hines. Oh my gosh, we adore her.
Yeah.
For those that don't know who she is, she's a young lady. She just turned 13 at the end of March, and she has all of the desires to be a paranormal investigator that you could have. I mean, she has so much gusto and so much just passion for it. And she's unique to the field because she is coming into this. She does have Down syndrome, and
Right.
that makes her, a little different in how she picks up and investigates. And it's
Right.
fascinating to watch her interact and watch her, like, she asks questions like she's been doing it for decades, which
Yeah.
blows my mind.
Yeah.
I sometimes am like, man, she makes me feel stupid because I didn't think to ask that. And here she's just, calm and cool, and she knows how to do the gear. Like, she could give you a tour of Edinburgh Manor without having to read notes because she knows the place by like the back of her hand. She's just an amazing young lady, and I'm so blessed that we get to have her as part of our investigations, and that she trusts us to be able to be the one that wants to investigate with us. So,
Yeah. So Cesare just come back with Richard Estep, was a booth neighbor at the Rochester Parafest 3 weeks ago. So hanging out with him. And then Taryn is saying, I did not know all this about Kat. Well, Taryn, this is kind of why these shows happen, because I get to introduce people that they think they know about him, but sometimes you learn a little more. Like, in case anyone missed the beginning, Heidi actually sings happy birthday to people in Edinburgh Manor when it's their birthday. I'm going to keep throwing that out there.
And she did it like a rock star, because it was one of our team members, and she just started belting it out, and then the whole entire tour stood there silently watching her in the hallway of the doorway and it was fantastic, and she did great. And it was Ethan, and he was embarrassed, and he kind of just backed away slowly. But
outstanding.
Yeah.
Like you, Tom, I have no fear.
Yes, but mine is because I'm too dumb to know any better. Another reason. All right, so everyone's going to ask these questions to you. I'm going to ask these questions to you. These are normal. I know about Edinburgh. I've been to the basement. I know all about the stuff down there. I know about the shift in power from not too long ago to something else. Sorry, I have to throw this out because this is Taryn. I'm jealous Krista Cesare doesn't comment or watch my show. I'm sorry, Taryn. It's just I really do think it's the beard that brings people in. We already had this discussion earlier. I really do think it's the beard.
Are you sure it's not William's Scottish accent? Just saying.
It could be, because there are different people on here that I've had before. So it could be the fact that Will's on here and he's got that sweet Scottish accent.
And the beard.
I kind of think, oh, sorry. No, Terrence said it's the beard.
It's the beard.
So, but this is why I ask questions specifically to Will, because I need to have him speak.
All right, okay.
Sing it.
Sing it?
No. So we have a new way that we discuss things that it relates to the energy at Edinburgh that you're speaking of.
Yes.
If anyone is familiar with the movie Encanto, which is the Disney one, and they're singing and they all have their special powers and charms and things, we try not to give energy and acknowledgement to this other thing that's there. Hey, Darren.
It's okay, Buggy.
So William came up with this the other day, and I may have laughed so hard that I like couldn't breathe. But he's like, so the next time that somebody brings this up, which happens to be Tom, he's gonna
You're
sing.
welcome. Well, originally it was I come up with BBEG. That's every time I describe him. So BBEG, if anybody's familiar with it, is big bad evil guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
I got you, William.
But then I thought, the other day, I think it was my wife, the youngest one, was watching Encanto, or she was watching a video from Encanto, and they have the song in it, they don't talk about Bruno, because Bruno's supposed to be this bad guy who brings back bad prophecies and bad fortune telling that, and they do the song, we don't talk about Bruno, no. So that's what I kind of use now every time I'm there, when I'm in the basement by myself or with any of my teams. As soon as it pops on, I'm like, nope, we don't talk about Bruno.
Which is, I have to tell you something, because this is funny that this song is coming up right now. yesterday for Easter, we were at Nikki's brother's house for Easter. And all the kids were downstairs watching that. And Nikki's sister's nickname is Brew. And they all came upstairs singing that song. So it was very, very timely that that's the song you're singing.
That's everything you can grow up. But I guess the next time I do that, I'm probably going to get strangled by him in the basement because he hates my singing voice.
Taryn's asking about the cat. This is Vincent. He is a Russian blue, which is a gray cat. So he is gray. He has the greenish yellow eyes. He likes to be played like an accordion.
He is my boy.
He lets you rub his belly. If Taryn ever came to Iowa, you could love on him just as much as you wanted.
Yep. Hi, Patricia. I didn't see you sneak in. This is another Patricia. So.
But that's like Kat says, we try not to give it attention because I guess that's what it thrives on, and that's how it starts its nonsense, so to speak.
Heidi was telling me that her cat, when she goes live, gets underneath her and starts meowing too. So. Yeah,
Cricket likes to scream. So
Vincent just wants to be loved. That's all.
Yeah, Vincent is just Vincent. I love my Vinny baby, my Vincenzo.
Yeah, he is named Vincent Price for various reasons. So
very nice.
Yeah,
very nice. So I want the Edinburgh. I wasn't trying to bring up just that specifically, but I wanted you to kind of talk about the whole place in general. What you do there. The fact that does it seem to have different personalities at different floors or different times of the year, compared to when you're compared to when you're doing tours during the day, compared to when people investigate at night. Kind of give us the whole of that place.
So many things in one question.
I know, because I want to know it all because I'm that nosy.
So when I tell people like walking through on a tour.
I have to say hi to Joni really quick. I have to say hi to Joni Mitchell. Joni Mitchell is one of the people that I will always stop for because Joni is an absolutely fantastic person and she's also my mentor and she's going to blush because I said that. But she's one of the two people I will always stop for and Joni's one of them. So hi, Joni.
Hi, Joni.
Okay. Sorry.
Hi.
We're good with that. So when I have people come through on the tours, I remind them that everything in the building can be different, like 1 hour to the next. I've had tours in the middle of the day that have had so much activity that people are blown away. I've had overnight people check in and zero out and have no activity whatsoever. So like it's very hot and cold. You never know what you're going to get. As I give the tour, we have certain rooms that we're supposed to make sure that we talk about. And we walk by a lot of rooms going on tour. And I literally will tell them at the beginning, just because I'm walking past a doorway doesn't mean there's not something that may be there.
Right.
And I have the stories that our team has investigated and done. And I try to follow a lot of teams when they're there. I love sharing evidence. I love telling people, hey, go check out these people. They were here a couple weeks ago. Mm-hmm. So I don't want it to be biased to what my team has experienced. I want people to know, like, this place is amazing.
Right.
I do ruin it for a lot of people. They come in and they're like, oh my God, scariest place in Iowa. And I'm like, well, it depends on what you think is scary. Because I look at it as it's a place where a lot of people with mental disabilities and, insane people and physical disabilities and, children and men and women and a mix of everything. And you think about, like, how would they communicate with you? And social cues for someone with disabilities is way different than someone without disabilities, especially when they're mentally impaired.
Correct.
So you may have gotten your hair pulled in the hallway, but was it a malicious intent, or was it somebody just trying to say, hey, you walked past me and you didn't notice and I want you to notice?
Correct. Yep.
And so they are like, oh, I didn't think about it that way. I'm like, yeah, I've been scratched in the building myself personally many times, but I can look at it as, oh my gosh, the place is out to get me and run and hide and scary and never come back. Or I can figure out, well, why did I get scratched? Can somebody that scratched me tell me why they scratched me? What did I miss something that you were trying to tell me? What was the reason that this happened? And I think that people come out of there with a different perspective. because I want them to think of like, what was this place? You know, they had only 153 documented deaths a year ago. And with my friend Tori Westhoff writing that book, we're up to 234.
Right.
And I guarantee you it's a heck of, I about needed the explicit thing in the corner again. I guarantee you it's a whole lot more than that. He's looking for it.
There you go. Right there.
But there's just so many things there. And when people come in, I've had people say, "Oh, my aunt lived here. I think she passed away here." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, tell me the name. I would love to look that up and add it to my list and put it in my book." Because I add notes to my copy because I want to make sure when I go through and read names at the manor, because I read the names.
Right.
I want to have all the names. I want them to give me more names. It's such an intriguing place.
So while you're talking about that, I'm going to throw this up. So right down there is all these sites you can go to for Paranormal Exposures. If you're watching my show, or if you're going to watch this later on in a recording, which is where most of the people view this at, go here. Go look at these. Go look at some of the past ones. She also, I can't say she, they, as a whole team, list out where they're going next. This is very much a team environment when they investigate. They really don't have one person in charge. It's a family that's investigating together to go check out all the cool stuff they can and to bring you all the experiences they're bringing, as well as information, and try to make it correct. So you're not watching a TV show. You're dealing with real life here. You can't stereotype some of these programs that we go through like this. And I say we, 'cause people who know I'm on a team well, but like Paranormal Exposures, they don't do all the lighting and the fancy work and the editing and everything else like the big productions do. They will edit some stuff, but they're trying to bring you stuff that they think you're going to find educational and interesting. So make sure you're going to places like this when I put them up. Paranormal Exposures is fantastic. We talk about Edinburgh, but guess what? They go to a lot of different places, and they have all of their videos up there. And so it's really cool if you guys go out there and check them out, because it's very educational. People that are part of teams always go to other people's teams' videos to see what they're doing, to see maybe they can learn a new way to investigate, a new way to do something different. I have never been to Edinburgh yet, which I'm kind of mad about, but that was my own doing when that happened.
You got a thumbs down from William.
I saw that, but I was actually supposed to go there, but at that one time I was supposed to go there, I really had spirit push and tell me that was not the time I was supposed to go. So I actually avoided going that one time. The rest of my team went, but then I had another voice come back and say, "Okay, next time you go." And I'm like, "Okay." So I had to.
Yeah,
Joni saying she has messages for all three of you.
That's awesome. Let's do a group call after the show if they're interested. I'm interested.
So if you're interested so I'm going to make this, I'll get this out of the way really quick. Joni, what I'll do is I'm going to go ahead and send you the link to where we're at right now. And when we're done, we'll just all do an after chat right here in this room. So if everyone's cool with that, we'll just stay on here and I'll invite Joni.
Very cool with that.
So there you go, Joni. But yeah, and that's actually a great segue for what I wanted to go to again is you guys go to many different places. Is Edinburgh your favorite, or is it just because it's your most local and that's where you get to do your most research at?
I would say it's the most familiar. It's the most familiar to us. You go in there and you smell the lead paint and the mouse shit and all the ode to Edinburgh, and it just smells so familiar. Right. And you hear voices coming up on Spirit Box that you've heard before, and you experience things in a different facet. So I don't know if Edinburgh is my favorite place, but it's definitely like home for me.
Right. And that's really what there's a couple places out right where you guys live at that Bobby and Jesse, that you know them, part of my team, that say the same thing. It's very familiar to them because it's right by their house. they live right there in Cedar Rapids with you guys, so it's very
Yep.
comfortable for them, and they're very familiar with the location. I don't want to. I also want you guys to answer that question, but really quick. CJ and Laura's coming up saying, "Can't wait to get back in June. Investigate with Kat. Hopefully, we'll can maybe. Wow, you read that part. Basically, they want
Hopefully,
to come
Will
back.
can maybe come investigate with us for a little bit. Be so much fun. So
Words got
CJ
really
and
hard for me
Laura,
right there.
is a couple that I met last year. They are part of We Are Paranormal, and they will be coming out in June, which is going to be a weekday. I doubt you're going to get William. I will absolutely go back to work the next morning, dead as a doornail, just to hang out at the manor. So I'll be there. But this is part of what I love about being in this field. It's not about me trying to be anything more than just me.
Right.
I just want to have this experience and be able to share it with people. And to have teams that come in and they're like, hey, Kat, are you going to be available? Are you going to be able to come be my guide? Are you going to be able to hang out with us for a little while? I adore that.
Yeah.
I would love
That's
to,
very cool. Yeah.
I'm learning from them just as much as they're learning from me. I may have a lot of knowledge about the location, but I may not have, a lot of knowledge about how they investigate. And I want to always be open-minded with new opportunities, new ways to do things, new perspectives of what it is. Right. And that's what's important to me. Like in May, we are investigating Edinburgh Manor, May 13th and 14th. But I've shared the investigation because I know that I only have so much to offer my team. And I want them to have the opportunity to investigate with Darren Buss if he's still on here. I know he's going to his own live here at 8 o'clock.
Yep.
But Darren from MGS, Midwest Ghost Seekers, and his wife are going to be there. Raven Rose Paranormal with Cynthia Gerodius is going to be there.
Very cool.
It's an opportunity for us to share what we know and learn what they know. And I can't wait. I think that's amazing. Yep.
That's what Erin's saying right there. I love that you take in the knowledge. We should always be learning. That's so much a part of the fun for me. And by the way, hi, Erin.
Hi, Erin.
Erin said hi earlier, but I just wanted to say hi. But yeah, she agrees. In fact, Erin was on my show last weekend, I believe, or last Monday, I believe.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I showed up late.
Time's running together. Well, you're late for everyone, so I never know what show that is. But no, and Erin and I actually talked about that too. It seems like we all have that same thirst for knowledge, I guess is the best way to say that, on how everyone does the investigations. Like I said, we're always learning from each other in this world, in this paranormal world. And it's funny because when we meet each other, it's almost like you just added another piece of an extended family.
Yeah.
For people that don't know, Will, Kat, and me and Heidi, we have never met each other in person. We've only done it through this or through chat, but they're family to me. I mean, it's just the way it is. We talk. I'm
doing a Terran heart. Terran heart. Yeah, there we go.
But we do. We talk, like, we just ask how each other's days are going. We check in to make sure everyone's okay. We say, hey, I hope you're having a great day. And we share stuff with each other too. So the paranormal world is like a huge family, and a lot of this is going out to people who are going to be watching, if they're not already, who are coming in that are new. Because remember, my show is really designed based off of people who are just learning about their abilities, or just starting to do investigations, or starting to do whatever. You need to understand that this world we're not a cutthroat business. We try to learn off each other. We do our best to educate each other, and we really relish the time we get to spend together, because it is such a warming, like a heartwarming type thing to do with other people, and we get to share their experiences with them. And I'm really looking forward to getting up there at some point. I don't care if it's when you guys come out to Malvern, which is closer to me. I'm 20 minutes away from that, or when I go back that way to Edinburgh, when we all get together, because it's just going to be a different dynamic than what we're used to. Mm-hmm. And for those people who think it's just about us, well, guess what? The spirit understands that too. So they may react differently by the different people coming in. So it benefits not only us as people, but it benefits us investigating the environment as well.
Yep. So one of the things for me, especially being a guide at Edinburgh, is there's so many names that are out there. And if I were to share all of the names that people have captured, or the ones that our team has captured, and
Right.
throw those into a tour as we got this name here, and we got this name here, and we got this name on this side, I feel like I'm preventing people from actually connecting with who they're meant to connect with at the building.
Right.
And so when I give tours, people are like, well, didn't the other tour guide said such and such? And I'm like, that's really cool. I'm not going to give you names that I can't justify because I can't confirm them myself. And I wouldn't want you to go in, I'm not saying they're not right. Absolutely, they're probably right. But I want you to go in open-minded and think about, like, who else could be there? Because if you limit yourself to just a single name, you're not connecting with all the others that may want to communicate. You're basically saying, sorry, I'm only here for so-and-so. I'm not listening to the rest of you. And I would rather have people think about, like, who is here?
Right.
And what would you like? Because I don't know who they're going to connect with. I bet you, like, everybody that goes in there has a different story to tell because they connected with a different spirit than what I had.
And excuse me, and I'm the same way when it comes to doing background searches on buildings. I don't because if I do, I can read, well, this room has picked up this and this room has picked up this. So teams may only go to those 2 or 3 rooms in that location rather than search the whole thing, because that's what they're reading about, and that's when they're getting activity, and that's what they feel the only activity is. That's false. Look, they all looked.
Sorry, my cat's licking dishes in the kitchen.
But Lori brings that same thing. It's different for me at the Washara Museum. If I'm with it, the activity is silent. I just stay around, and that's the same thing. I will tell you, we've done the same thing when we investigate. So when we investigate places like old asylums or old hospitals or old something like that, the activity seems to be pretty strong with our team. But if we go into old residences, and I mean older, like 1800s residences, our ladies are not the best at being prim and proper. So sometimes it shuts the activity down a little bit because it seems like the spirit's like, well, that's not how a lady's supposed to act. So they kind of step back sometimes. And we've actually had spirit tell our ladies, no, not you, don't talk. So it's been very interesting. And our ladies are like, nope, that's not how this works. Sorry, I'm stopping because this is one of the people I said. This is Ajang.
Hi, Ajang.
Ajang is from Indonesia. Like I said, she is one of those people I will always stop to say hi to no matter what the conversation is. I also want to give her a shout out because Ajang is actually new to BB3 TV.
Yes.
And she's coming on there to play piano or to talk about whatever she wants. She is a beautiful pianist. Her son actually plays violin, so I hope at some point they actually put on a duet there. But yes, it's I always will stop to say hi to Ajang because of what a beautiful person she is, and she's always nice enough to come out and support us regardless of the time frame. She's 11 hours ahead of us, so you guys can do the math and figure it out. So I'm very appreciative.
Good morning.
So.
I think one of the funny, Heidi will know this because we've had it with Heidi before, but when we're investigating the Edinburgh Manor prior to like getting a tour, we'll have activity all over the place. You'll be activity second floor, first floor, and also in the basement.
Right.
And then it'll become time for Kat to be like, okay, guys, I'll leave you day me and a day because I need to give the tour. I'm like, sure, okay. And we know the kind of route she takes, so we can kind of work around.
Right.
Someone running the film on the tour. But like 15-20 minutes after she leaves, it's like activity just stops.
Right.
Like, what's going on? Okay, well, let's go to the basement to the first floor, first floor to the second floor, etc. And we're getting nothing. We're like, what's going on here? And somebody remarked one time, like,
yeah,
it's like Kat's got a conga line behind her because she's talking about the manor to the tour that's there.
Yeah.
So it's like the residents have all kind of gelled in as well. They're like, oh, let's hear this for the 100th time. And we're just sitting there like, oh, well, I guess we're defunct now. I guess we'll just go outside.
Right? Yeah.
Well, like a conga line.
I guess we'll just act like a tour guide, like a tour. Follow the guide.
And they have, and they do. And it's funny because we actually get activity on tours. People like to come in on my tours and bring equipment and actually try to investigate while we're walking the building. I actually make a joke about halfway through because when I do my tour, I do the men's side, I like to use the side stairwells because they're their own odd thing that everybody should see.
Yeah.
And then we get over to the upstairs of the women's side, and I'm like, this is where I usually lose about half the people. This is why I had you sign a waiver, because I'm not responsible for whatever happens to you in the building. And people start looking around like, who's gone? You know,
Right.
By the time we get back down to the first floor and finish the women's side, I generally like have people that are straggling, and I'm like, and I'm not responsible if you don't keep up with the tour. You're just missing out. And but they all get sidetracked doing things, and it's like, I may or may not have made a joke or time or two about like black market body parts, and
yeah,
and then they kind of join in and gather up so they don't get lost. But
it's like herding penguins sometimes.
Oh, see, and I'd be that one that would actually go looking for the body parts that you left behind. So
no, I'm selling them on the black market.
I know. I want to see if you left any behind that I can sell on my own black market. So
you store them in the industrial freezers, Kat, in the basement.
Oh, because they're so turned on. Very, very good working freezers in the basement.
Yeah.
Yes.
I also like to throw in the random comments of, I don't know if that door locks or not, but feel free to shut it behind. No, don't do that.
So I did mention that I have never been there physically, but I have watched.
Yes, you have.
New live video a couple of times, and what's the coolest thing is I can actually pick up stuff when they're there. Yes. And it's very cool because I can actually hear what's going on there, and I can feel, especially down in the basement. There's two of them that are very strong with me in the basement, and one of them has already told me when I come down there, or when I come over to see you, I get to go visit him. He's already given me permission to walk into the room, because he knows that I'm the one who pushed those people out that were there before, who he did not want in there. And then you also have a. I don't know how much I'm allowed to talk about, but you have a late teens, early 20s boy that's down there, and he has also given me permission to come down and talk to him as long as I'm quiet. So, but yeah, so I'm really looking forward to coming there because I've already interacted even though I wasn't there. So I'm very excited about this, about getting to go there. But I'm not quite sure 100% why I was told not to go by Spirit the first time. It was just very not. I was told, no, this is not your time. It will be bad if you go. So I didn't, which I'm.
Hi,
so
Patty. I see that you're watching. I haven't seen you say hello yet. Patty's
Patty,
there.
hi.
Yes, I haven't seen Patty pop up on my hi or anything else.
She hasn't said it yet, but I have this sitting here just so I can watch what's coming through without you posting them. And it says Patty is watching because she's my bestie, and I wanted to make sure that if I saw her come on, I'd say hello.
Wait, I have to ask because I'm about to sell Patty out. Is this the same Patty that you sent this link to that was possibly going to come on here tonight?
I did not send the link to Patty because Patty was doing other things. She was going to be in chat with us. There is Patty.
Patty.
Okay, Patty was going to be in chat. Okay.
Yes, Patty was going to be in chat. There she is.
Sorry, Patty, I wasn't trying to sell you out, but I was if you were going to come on the show and decided not to.
No, Savannah was the other one, but her car was broken and she had to get it from the mechanic. So.
Oh, okay. All right. So hi, Patty. Welcome to the show. All right. So Heidi told us I am so squirreled right now because I don't know why, but Spirit's trying to talk to me, and normally that doesn't happen, and I'm having a hard time closing them off right now. But Heidi told us that it's very familiar for her in Edinburgh, but she doesn't know if that's her favorite. What about you guys? You guys have been to a lot of places too, so.
You want this one? Or you want me to talk?
Go for it.
I will go out on a limb here and say that every team or paranormal investigator has a bucket list, right, of locations they would love to see. Everybody, they all have one. But personal thing here, I love Edinburgh Manor. I could go there.
Yeah.
All the time. If I had one location I could go to, like, for the year, it's going to be Edinburgh Manor. Now, granted, it's handy that it is close by.
Right.
And that we have been there before, but that place never fails to amaze. It's always got something to offer or add or change up.
Right. It's always
You're on
different.
your toes.
Yeah.
It's nothing. It's not like, well, we know what's in this room, we know what's in that room, we know what we're going to encounter. It's just always different. And it keeps us going, keeps us on our toes.
Right.
And I think that's what, you know, kind of makes us as a team, you know, because it's ever shifting, it's ever changing. You know, it's like a Rubik's Cube as you move it.
Right. Yeah.
That's what Edinburgh Manor is like. It just keeps changing.
Yep. Very cool.
Hi to Judy also, Judy Anderson.
Yep.
Keeping up. That's Patty's mom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hi, Miss Judy.
Well, hi,
Yeah,
Patty's mom.
she's
Judy
awesome
Anderson.
because she watches all of our stuff. And I joke all the time, like, we should get Judy to come investigate with us, but I don't think that she would.
So Patty's saying that Lemp was great, but Edinburgh is her favorite.
Yep, I can see that. I love everything. I can't really say. Obviously, I'm emotionally connected to Edinburgh Manor.
Right.
That's family.
Right.
And, you know, we know how family goes. I really enjoy all of the places that we go. You know, we were going for what's the closest, you know, how in the world did a group in Cedar Rapids not go to Granger House yet? We haven't been there yet. That's
Really?
silly.
Wow.
Yeah, that's silly.
Wow.
But it's just not, you know, if I could go to a location that's new or a location that I know that I'm going to always get something, I keep finding myself back at Edinburgh Manor.
Right.
We've done Horridge House a couple times. We'll be back there in September. I really like Horridge House. It's a new upcoming thing. But we've gotten stuff every time we've been there. It's an absolutely different type of energy. That was actually where we took Kendra for her first night investigation. And she brought her cousin Maddie, and it was a great time.
Yeah. Yeah, Bobby says Granger's amazing.
Hello, Sir Nighthawk.
Yeah, I wanted to throw that up there. I was waiting for you to kind of end, but here's one of the other people that I stopped conversation for, but I was going to let you talk, so because I knew he'd be there.
No, I will stop for him too. I absolutely love William Nighthawk.
So most people call him Nighthawk. I do not. I call him William. I don't know why.
I can't call him William because this is my William.
Right, but
and then I get confused.
But I call him William. So for people who don't know William Nighthawk, Native American, a plethora of knowledge in all fields, cryptid, ufologist, paranormal. He kind of runs the whole gambit.
And he just had a birthday. I'm just going to throw that
just
out
had
there.
a birthday.
Happy birthday.
Just had a birthday.
Happy birthday, homeboy.
He's a veteran of the military, so thank you for your service, brother. Yep. And I am actually learning so much from him right now because I have a Native American background. I have a weird mix. I'm a Native American Nordic background. So how those two combined, I'm a little confused, but somehow this came out of it. But I don't have anyone to talk to about my Native American side. They've already passed on. So I went ahead and started asking him all my questions, and he's very good about answering. He says too old. I'm too old, but I believe he's old.
He's still a young man. Don't let him fool you.
Sure, we'll go with that. But no, so like I said, I just want to stop saying hi to him. But yeah, oh, and that brings me because you're talking about Granger and Horridge House and all that wonderful stuff. Right now, we haven't set a firm date yet, but this is for you guys that are here right now watching out there in Cedar Rapids. Nikki and I are planning on coming up that direction to Cedar Rapids in June. And it's mostly because we have some we didn't have we also go on investigations like once a month, but that's one of the months we kind of pushed off of to not have an investigation because we had a lot of stuff going on internally with our team, a lot of stuff going on personally between our families. So I'm sorry, was I boring you, Heidi?
No, it's because
I'm calling her out.
Long.
I'm calling her out. But the discussion is that we are trying to possibly hook up with you guys, all of you, while we're up there. And
I was looking for those guys. No.
Yeah. use guys over there, and maybe seeing about going to some of these places. And now that I know that you haven't been there, maybe that needs to be some of the places we go. We're up there with Bobby and Jesse. I'm just throwing that out.
It's one
there.
of the ones that's on my list. I reached out to them for dates, and then I booked a different investigation on the dates that I was asking about going there. So I have to reach back out to Granger. I do agree with Patty. Heidi does need snacks. That's a must. If a paranormal team doesn't snack together, then what are you really doing? So
right.
But yeah, I want to do Granger. We did just book in August. We're going to the Wishara Museum with We Are Paranormal. And then, yeah, Bobby's like, Granger's really small. And we know that. Villisca's also really small. We're doing Villisca and Malvern back-to-back on Labor Day weekend. And July, we go back to Boone for the Historical Museum.
Yeah.
So, like, we're really full, but June is not full because we have Malvern experiment that William and I are doing the first weekend of June, and then we just never put anything else on the calendar.
Yeah.
And then June 21st is I get to help CJ at Edinburgh. I think that's a Tuesday night. Wish me luck for a Tuesday night investigation between work.
Right.
But yeah.
Hey, Bill.
Hello, Bill.
Hiya.
Tom.
I actually grew up like a block away from Granger House, so I've been there probably a dozen times.
But not as an investigator.
Never as an investigator, though. But
Well,
I'm really excited to go back to that boys' room on the second floor.
Interesting to see how it feels to you now.
Yeah.
Now that you're going back, you go back as an investigator, and you have all this wonderful knowledge now, and you're like, whoa, what the heck was that? So, and I'm coming up because I haven't been to anything up there. I haven't been to Edinburgh. I haven't been to Granger. Haven't been to Horwich. Haven't been to 13 Steps. I haven't been to any of those.
So when you do come this way, what's your distance of travel for where you want to go? Because I have an idea of another possibility too.
I don't have a distance. Really, it's Nikki's. So Nikki's his teacher. That's why we got to come up in June because she'll be out of school at that time.
Right.
And I'm just taking leave. So it doesn't matter to me.
So Raven Rose was just at that hospital in Oskaloosa, and I really, really, really want to go.
Okay. So
if we know a timeline, we could maybe set up booking that one.
Yeah. That's like I said, we'll have to get together offline and kind of talk about that. Yeah, see, that's what Bobby says. We can go anywhere. So we're not, we just want to go investigate. We're not really care where.
I love Joni because she's saying the last thing she heard was me losing people on tours. Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
Welcome back.
Right. Yeah, she said she claimed she had to have a very important phone call, but I think what happened is like someone cut a cheesecake or something. She's like, "Oh, cheesecake," and ran off and went for cheesecake or something. But.
Nice. And I love Patty because she's jumping in with fun. The thing I love about Patty the most is that it doesn't matter what we say we're gonna do. If I throw it out there, Patty's all in.
Oh.
And I absolutely love that.
This is William Nighthawk right there. So nomad. So.
But hey, if William Nighthawk shows up for investigating, I'm all good with that.
Right, me too.
I'll go pick you up and bring you wherever you want to go, sir.
There you go. See that? So Bobby's telling us June-ish. So I guess we'll have to figure that out. I don't know how you can have an ish with an entire month. It's that month. It's June.
June-ish might be.
I'm just surprised that Potatoes made a Facebook account.
Yeah, the potato on Facebook. Joni can't wait to chat with us. How much longer?
I'm seeing that, Joni. You know this because you're actually on my show here in a few weeks, anyways. Again, Joni's coming back on. Joni's one of my reoccurring because I love her to death, and we could just talk about everything for so long. But my show doesn't have a timeline. Then there's a reason for that. There's a reason they don't put anybody behind me because I have no concept of time. And normally my guests and I just ramble on anyway, so it doesn't matter. And apparently we're keeping Heidi up past her bedtime.
Which is funny because William's the 8 o'clock bedtime guy.
Right.
I was going to say it actually is kind of getting close.
I know. I was really waiting to see Will sitting there in like his little snuggie or something, just ready for bed when we got ready to go.
See me face forward into the table.
I can hang out all night, Tom. Don't worry.
Yeah,
That's because, Kat, you don't sleep. It's weird.
It's not necessary.
That's like get sleep in, man. I'm up at like ass crack in the morning.
Me too.
That's me right there. I just don't sleep. In fact, when I first started investigating with the team, it creeped him out because I'm that one person that always gets up and wanders when we're on investigation when everyone else is sleeping, and people would see me walking through and they were like, what's going on with Tom? It's just me. I just wander. I get up and I walk the property. I make sure everything in the house is good. I think it's built into my background of what I used to do for a living, but it's just what. And some people freak out because we'll be all sleeping in one big room, and I'm just sitting there in a chair, and someone will wake up and see me just sitting there, and they're like, "That's kind of odd." No, it's just me. And then later on, I'll wander back and lay down for a couple hours, and then back up again. So
I think we actually have a question that comes out of Patty's next comment. If you pop that one up there.
I don't see. Oh,
you don't see it.
She's our napper.
Says she's our napper.
She's our napper.
I'm a
so
professional
the question
napper.
Is, Heidi, have we had an overnight investigation where you did not take a nap?
I usually nap between like 9 and 10 p.m. 9 to like 11. I'll take a nap, or I'll get a bonus nap in the car on the way there.
Right, but I'm trying to think here. Have we had an investigation where you didn't at least nap somewhere? I don't think we have.
My first overnight at Edinburgh, and I slept at Malvern and Horridge House.
I'm always quiet.
I didn't sleep at Villisca because I was too scared.
You did not sleep at Villisca.
Yeah.
No, that was too spooky for me.
Too scared of Villisca?
Huh?
We had a very odd experience at Villisca. I think it was just the energy that was there for that experience. I'm looking forward to seeing what our experience will be this time, because it will be a different team of people. And I just want to see, like, is what we had last time what Villisca is, or is it different?
So I do have a question to ask you. I'm not going to use names, but there have been one or two places where we have investigated that when we got there, it seems like the energy was darker than it has been in the past, and it seems to have been brought up because of the team that went in before us. Is that something you guys have experienced?
I can't really say that that's something that I've thought about when we've had our experiences, and I can't say that there's been a team in a location before us that I've noted as someone to pay attention that we had an investigation after. Like, we do watch shows. Does who feel touch on their head? I'm curious.
I think they're asking about William, because she's an older female with a dude with the green on his collar, which is William. Mm-hmm. And she said, "Do you feel a touch on your head?"
He's in denial of any intuitive abilities whatsoever.
She's very excited, so she
is.
Yeah, which just makes it even better for me to make her wait, because
it keeps the conversation popping.
Honestly,
so
that kind of stuff, the kind of abilities, I'm very there could be a spirit right next to me aggressively breakdancing, and I wouldn't even know until I pick up a K2 and a voice recorder and all that, So that's how I pretty much have to roll.
But yeah, we've had experiences where, based on who's with us, changes the outlook. As Patty is saying, yes, bingo. People can bring bad energy or different energy or things and yes, I agree with that 100%.
Yes.
Everybody, like, I've investigated with a lot of people that have come into Edinburgh and then had me stay to help them investigate because they're just curious, like, the activity that's around me being there all the time. I get activity just because they know me. And I've had teams have me stay and then I leave and they're like, we zeroed out the rest of the night. That kind of sucked.
Right.
But it's, it is what it is. But, we are very flexible in how we do things. And I think that helps us have a lot of activity and things when we go places. We've had, like, Squirrel Cage Jail. People were talking, like, they went to Squirrel Cage, they zeroed out. They went to Squirrel Cage, they zeroed out. We did 2 nights and we had activity both nights and it was pretty crazy.
Yeah, Squirrel Cage was fun.
Like we haven't even we can't really share that evidence. That was shared team prior to our transition.
So
but we had amazing evidence.
So Squirrel Cage is my Granger. It's right next to me, but I haven't been to it yet. So
oh my gosh,
you need to go.
We're booking a Squirrel Cage.
You need to go. It's so fun.
Yeah,
the mannequins are spooky and they talk to you. It's very cool.
There you go.
I agree with Joni, and he denies it all the time.
He denies it every time.
The green shirt guy is spiritually gifted.
I don't.
He's spiritually gifted and he's just in hiding. There you go. Hey, Bobby said he hasn't been to Squirrel Cage yet either.
Oh gosh, we should do this then. Yeah,
it's a bucket list thing. Just the history there itself is just.
Joni has just become my favorite person because she's basically telling William all the things that I keep telling him repeatedly. So we're just gonna have to let her keep typing these messages out to William so that he can read them over and over.
Right. So
I don't know.
Nikki does say that we were supposed to go to Squirrel Cage over spring break, but they weren't open. They opened up like a week or two after her spring breaks. We actually had plans to going, but we couldn't. So, So Patty's saying, "Yep, keeps us grounded." And then Joni's right back. There's an older woman who works with him, and there's a living female that helps him amp up his abilities. That living female is probably sitting right next to him.
I don't see her.
Wait, this time?
Oh, did you?
Then I get called out. So yes, true. Very happy about that.
I think that's funny.
And now I get threats. See, this is why she's such a good mentor, because she knows how to treat me correctly.
So if in doubt, Tom wants physical abuse. Got it.
Correct.
Got it.
You can't. I don't drink, so you can't ply me with liquor. That's not going to work. I'm already a fat man, so I don't need any more sweets. But
you did say something about cheesecake, so I think is that your weakness or her weakness?
Hers. Corporal punishment. That's the way to go with me, though. Let me tell you, right there.
Okay.
So,
no, he doesn't do that. So
I don't drink. I look like this normally. Imagine if I drank. Oh my goodness! Holy cow! That would not be fair to the people with eyes. I have a great face for radio. Let me tell you. So, all right. I think Joni's going to kill me if I don't actually try to wrap this up. But before we do this, I do want to, like I always do, I want to advertise you guys again. Now remember, people, listen to the words coming out of my mouth. I'm the host. You should pay attention to me. So, Paranormal Exposures, right down there. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. You have 3 ways and you're out of excuses because I have them all listed down there. And this is recorded so you can't say you can't find it because you can always go back and play it again. So, go out there, check out Paranormal Exposures, look at the stuff they've done in the past, read their write-ups because they're very good. Look at what they're going to be doing in the future. And fair warning to all you people out there, at some points, they may actually start being on a couple investigations here and there with this ugly mother.
I hope so.
With the beautiful beard. So it's going to be very interesting because, like I said, we have not investigated together, and I'm kind of excited about it to see how our powers combine. Is the best way to say that. You laugh because you know what cartoon I'm talking about. I know. But go out there, check them out, enjoy them, share them with everybody, get all their shares, likes, numbers up, start doing all that wonderful stuff for them because they are an amazing team to follow. This is not a team that people should miss. This is a team that people should want to follow because of how well they work together, how well the family environment works, how well the family dynamic is, and just the places they go and the evidence they bring. So make sure that you are following Paranormal Exposures as much as possible. And thank me once you start doing it because you know I'm right. So other than that, you guys have any final words? I mean, I got to go back up to the comments because
thank you for having us. This has been a pleasure. I hope that you like us enough to have us on again because this was fun.
Oh yeah,
We're still working on Patty. We're going to get her social enough to be on chat because she's a blast. We'll just see how that goes. So
yeah, apparently, Kat, you're supposed to be in charge of me. Sure, whatever.
I did not say anything about being a dominatrix. So
apparently,
he was talking KP duty and other things, and I'm like, we were talking physical abuse. No, that's not my role. That's not my vibe. Sorry.
Will's like, that is not the show to be talking about this on. You're not supposed to be telling people this.
Oh my goodness.
This is not BB3 TV After Dark.
But yeah, I just look forward to working with everybody, and I'm just so thankful that we get to be a part of anything. You know, just any I just want to be a part with everyone and share what we're doing. So this has just been really fun. We're gonna hang out with Bobby again. I don't know when, but that needs to happen sooner than you showing up because we're not waiting until June.
Right? As you should not.
Yeah, hopefully it's Bobby and not a potato. That's true.
We'll see.
Because I still haven't even met his wife, and she lives locally.
You haven't met Jesse yet?
No.
Oh my goodness, that's the better half.
I know.
I mean, love you, Bobby. But really, she's the better half. But yes, you will love Jesse to death. If you love Bobby, wait to see Bobby 2.0. That's Jesse. The new and improved. So, but I know that she works a lot, and I know she does such a fantastic job at her job that it's hard to get her away from her job. See how many times I'm going to say job in a sentence. But yes.
I might start crying.
I'm sorry. Oh, Bobby wants to let you know he's always a potato. So
excellent.
I'm gonna bring a potato on the next investigation. Bobby on it. Give it a name tag.
That would be fantastic. And
always in our hearts. Always with us.
Make sure you live feed that of just a potato with Bobby's name on it.
I am totally taking one to Edinburgh Manor in May when I'm investigating with Darren. It's gonna happen.
Oh, that is fantastic. So
you can actually use potatoes to do electricity. That's not a
joke. You can.
We do potato experiments the next time we're out.
And we're gonna call them Bobby experiments.
Yes.
Yes. Bobby. Outstanding. Okay, well, you guys don't go away. Heidi, I know it's really past your bedtime, but
I'll live. If I fall asleep, it'll just be like a thunk of my head on the keyboard.
Haters are batteries for energy.
They are correct. So I'm gonna push you guys in the background, say goodbye to everyone here, and then we'll chat with Joni, Little Miss Impatient, once we come back in. So I'll see you guys in a second. All right, everyone, that's my show. Let me throw this up again a couple of times. BB3 TV, which is my parent station, which allows me to have this program. The ones who invited me on to do this program on Monday nights, and I'm so appreciative of them. Thank you very much, brothers and sisters. Much love everywhere out there. You can see I have our Facebook as well as our YouTube because I am actually showing to both of these. I'm actually on camera for both of these. So hopefully we can start getting more pushes to our YouTube as well as to our Facebook. So go out there and share, like, follow, all that wonderful stuff. That would be greatly appreciated. You also got mine floating on the bottom here, Stuff I Never Learned from the Schoolbook. It's very long, but it's all one word, facebook.com, Stuff I Never Learned from the Schoolbook. Follow me out there. This also is advertised out there and is shown live out there as well as recorded. So be sure to watch that one. And then, of course, I can never, ever, ever forget Paranormal Brew. This is Taryn Kerper. She's the one who owns this one, and she is absolutely fantabulous. Facebook.com/Paranormal Brew. She is the one who allows me to advertise on here. I do not go live on there, but I do advertise on there, and I appreciate her for letting me do that. And she also shares everything out. You need to go out there and follow her too because she is absolutely fantastic. She has tons of stuff on there, paranormal related, and it's just a really good site to go to. Oh, let me bring that back up really quick. Sorry, Joni, you're just going to have to wait again. Facebook.com is not just a paranormal, or I'm sorry, BB3 TV is not just a paranormal site. We have everything. We have music, we have entertainment, we have paranormal, we have a church show that goes on Sunday mornings, we have a political show that goes on. So it's a very much variety entertainment site. So make sure you're going out to BB3 TV, whether through Facebook or through YouTube, and checking those out. Last but not least, like I said, I am part of a paranormal investigation team myself. Dimensional Encounters Paranormal. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, and we're on YouTube. So you can go out there and check us out as well. Again, thank you all. Let me check comments one more time to see if I'm missing anything before I let these people go. Thanks to Zhang. Much love. Have a great night. I appreciate it. Thank you, Bobby. I'll be talking to you soon because I know that we'll be doing stuff here shortly. Patty, thanks for coming on. Very much love. I'm glad you showed up to support us all. And I know that your team is going to continue to do great things. And then Joni, Joni's on here. Thank you very much. I'm about to talk to you in a second, but for everyone else, have a great night. I have another show coming on next Monday night. It is actually going to be Rebecca Jesus, and she is a Reiki master. So that's going to be one you're going to want to see because there's not too many people that I've seen that have brought on Reiki masters, and she is fantastic. She's actually the one that my whole team uses, personal friend of ours, and she is fantastic. Advertisements start for her tomorrow. Start looking for those, and please join us next Monday right here on Stuff I Never Learned from a Schoolbook, 7 p.m. Central, 8 Eastern, 6 Mountain, 5 Pacific. Other than that, y'all have a great night. I love y'all. See you later.